This is the Red Sox POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Boston Red Sox, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, what can be said? A waste of a Crochet day, a waste of a three-hit game, the first in the big leagues for Marcelo Meyer, and the Red Sox need a win in Wednesday afternoon's finale in order to avoid being swept by the Angels in Anaheim. Welcome to our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast. Welcome to the House of Misery. I'm Steve Lennox, longtime play-by-play announcer and show host. I just don't know what to say with this one. I really don't. We are providing reaction to every Red Sox game on the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel. Our Locked On Red Sox postcast also available on the Locked On Red Sox podcast feed, which is free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast, we're going to discuss Weissert giving up the home run in the eighth inning, but it's also on the offense in this one as well. They could not put up more than one run with Crochet on the mound. They could not put up more than one run through the first 9 innings. Looking at you, Trevor Story. Looking at you, David Hamilton. David Hamilton, I'm sorry, your days in the big leagues right now should be numbered. Audience participation is encouraged. From our everydayers and our first-timers, hit that comment button, share your thoughts on tonight's dreadful extra inning loss for the Red Sox on the road. That is if you were on board with us on the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel. You can also hit me up on the X, continue the baseball and Red Sox conversation there on the X at Lennox on Baseball with questions, comments, or concerns. So, Garrett Crochet, 7 scoreless innings, leaves the game with a 1-0 lead after 7. Strikes out 10, 7 scoreless. Third or fourth time this season with a scoreless outing. But no decision, and a Red Sox loss. 4 straight losses now for the Red Sox. It's not on Weissert and Wilson only. It's also on the offense.
This is what you'll be talking about.
To the number 9 hitter, gives up the game-tying home run to Christian Moore in the 8th inning, and then Moore plays hero again in the bottom half of the 10th inning with a home run that he thought was a triple. And the misery just ended right there. You didn't need Christian Moore at third base, the winning run, and then Wilson give up another hit. No, he goes into third base. He has to be told by the third base umpire who's circling around saying, hey, that's a home run. You've hit a home run. You've hit a game-winning home run. Christian Moore, the number 9 hitter in the lineup. 2 home runs. Solo shot to tie in the 8th. 2-run home run over that short yellow line in right field. Will Middlebrooks, first NESN reference, actually referenced it earlier in the game, that you used to have to clear that high wall at the ballpark in Anaheim. No longer. They've shortened that wall considerably. I think that's a 6-foot wall out there. And Moore hits the home run, ball game over. Red Sox still have not won an extra inning game on the road this season. Red Sox with another 1-run loss. You want a number of the night? 19 1-run losses on the season. We're going to get to Marcelo Meyer in a moment. But Meyer, a triple in the 3rd inning. Eaton, sac fly, run batted in, 1-0 ball game. And Crochet was dealing. Crochet was just Garrett Crochet. Gave up a couple of base runners and had 2 base runners on in his final inning in the 7th. Walked Mike Trout to open things up. You're thinking, uh-oh, here we go. But this is one of those games. You know, Trout had a base hit against Chapman, an infield hit. In the 9th inning, Chapman comes back and strikes out the next 3. I do think it, and it really hasn't happened. Chapman hasn't given it up. In there in a tie game trying to get to the 10th inning, that's what he did. But just opportunities here. Opportunities that you did not take advantage of. 5th inning, you leave 2 runners on base. Meyer tried to get things going with a 2-out single, Eaton a walk. Ref Snyder in there against the right-hander, grounds out, inning over. Duran a leadoff double in the 7th inning. Another hustle double. The next 3 hitters in the 7th inning. Trevor Story, what do you have to do in that situation? Hit the ball to the right side. Trevor Story, ground out to third. Cedon Rafaela, ground out to short. Meyer, strikeout. Duran, leadoff double, left on base. 9th inning. Romy Gonzalez reaches. E6, and then Red Sox catch a break. He was out at second base on a stolen base attempt, but the shortstop couldn't corral the ball and keep it in the glove so he's safe. Narvaez, runner at second, nobody out, fly out. Duran, a walk. So now you got first and second. Story, first pitch swinging, pop up to the second baseman. 2 outs. Rafaela, F9, 2 runners left on base. At that point, through the first 9 innings, 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. And Meyer, 2 base hits going to the top of the 10th inning. Meyer is your leadoff hitter. Didn't waste any time. RBI single against a left-hander, Reed Detmers. Marcelo Meyer, you know what? Based on 1 game, keep him in there against lefties. Entered the game 2 for 29 over his previous 10 games. Tyler Anderson gets the start. Meyer, first career 3-hit game. But he's on base. Hamilton is the next hitter. Hamilton's asked to get the bunt down. You've got the runner in from second base. You've got a 2-1 lead in the top of the 10th inning. You want more as the visiting team. The team batting in the top of the inning in extras. Hamilton can't get the bunt down. Puts the ball in play, 4-6-3 double play. David Hamilton is not a good base runner. He's got terrific speed. David Hamilton can't get bunts down. Called upon to bunt in that situation. Get the bleeping bunt down. Abreu a base hit on his birthday. Anthony retired, inning over. And then Wilson gives it up in the bottom half of the 10th inning. But again, it's on Weissert. He gives up the home run to Moore in the 8th inning, and Crochet a no decision. Another wasted performance by your ace, who goes 7 scoreless. And Crochet, again, was terrific. But he gets 1 run. That's it. That's all he got. 3rd scoreless outing of the season. 11th time this year where he's given up 0 or 1 run in a start. Struck out 10, 4th time this season where he struck out 10 or more. Red Sox had been 4-0 in his previous 4 starts. That comes to an end as well. You haven't won an extra inning game on the road this season. You're 1-4 against a team that's closing in on 500, but they're not there. Red Sox are now 9-19, 19th 1-run loss. 5-9 in extra inning games, 0-6 on the road. You've been walked off on the road. Do we have that right? Walked off on the road. Again. It's happened plenty of times this year, and it happens again. As the Red Sox get walked off for the 8th time this season, where they've been walked off. You want to walk away from it again? Go right ahead. Because you win 2 out of 3 in Seattle. Then you drop 2 out of 3 in San Francisco. Now you've dropped the first 2 in Anaheim. Against the Angels team that's had your number. I don't know where it gets better. I really don't at this point in time because I was optimistic. Hey, you played errorless baseball. Eaton had a great play early on in the game. Duran, hey, you know what happens sometimes when you hit a cutoff man? You give yourself an opportunity, 4th inning. Ohapia base hit. Duran to Eaton, the cutoff man, and Eaton scrambling towards the bag and able to tag out Ward for the final out in that inning. That's what happens, Cedar Rafaela, Willie Abreu. Hopefully you were paying attention. When you hit the cutoff man, you can actually cut down a runner. And that's what they did there. I feel like I'm baffling here. I feel like I'm a broken record. Roman Anthony, Romy Gonzalez, Carlos Narvaez, 2, 3, 4 hitters in the lineup, 0 for 13 and 5 strikeouts. I'm going to do my best here not to give you any more numbers. I'm going to do my best right now to zip it, read a couple of our live reads, come back, and hear from you. Because right now, you're game under 500 at the midpoint of the season. You do that again the second half, you're 80 and 82. The math there is simple. They're 162, and that's not getting it done. You're now at the midpoint of the season. You've still got a couple of weeks until the All-Star break. The All-Star break is not the midpoint of the season. You're well into the second half of the season. You want a number of the night? You've got to play 10 games over 500 over the next 81. Good luck with that. I right now do not see that happening, and I don't see you seeing that as a possibility for this team as well. I'm tired of hearing about buyers and sellers at the trade deadline. You're hearing the same things you heard last time as you stumble. And last year, you had a strong finish to the All-Star break, and you were 9 or 10 games over 500. Then you stumbled out of the gate after the All-Star break, Colorado and Los Angeles. I really don't want to turn it off, but I'll tell you right now, it's frustrating. We know that. And it's tiring watching this team almost night in and night out over stretches of the season figure out different ways to lose a game. Hey, we lost a bad one and an ugly one Sunday. Hey, hold our beverage here. We're going to show you what we can do Monday and Tuesday in the first 2 games of the series against the Angels. Which is a worse loss? Garrett Crochet, outstanding. Marcelo Meyer, rookie, 3 base hits, and an extra inning loss after Meyer breaks a 1-1 tie in the top of the 10th inning, or Walker Buehler going out there and having a dreadful first inning in the series opener on Monday night. Which is worse, in your opinion? If you want, share your thoughts on that. That's next. Locked On Red Sox Postcast. Hey, we got a new sponsor on the Locked On Red Sox Postcast, presented by Rougiet. Hey, guys, you've probably heard of Viagra or Cialis. Maybe you've even tried them. But if you're looking for something that is beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rougiet Ready. Rougiet Ready is a next-gen prescription treatment designed to amplify arousal in the brain and also boost blood flow. Unlike the usual pills that can take hours, Rougiet's 3-in-1 formula dissolves under your tongue and kicks in fast, on average in 15 minutes. Effects can last up to 36 hours, so you can stay confident and in control when the moment is right. If traditional options have not worked, Rougiet might be the answer. Over 150,000 men have already made the switch. Rougiet connects you with a board-certified doctor and ships your treatment discreetly to your door. You can even read real customer reviews on their website. It's helping a lot of people feel more confident and present in the moment. Head to Rougiet.com/LockedOnMLB and use code LockedOnMLB to get 15% off today. That's Rougiet.com/LockedOnMLB and use promo code LockedOnMLB for 15% off. Individual results may vary with prescription treatment. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety effectiveness or manufacturing review. Please visit the Rougiet website for full safety information. Locked On Red Sox Postcast also presented by Monarch Money. Hey, ever wish managing your money felt easier? Well, with Monarch Money it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building on your financial wealth. With Monarch Money, you can track your daily and monthly spending, gain an understanding of where you might be able to cut back and save. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LockedOnMLB at monarchmoney.com, and you're going to receive 50% off on your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LockedOnMLB for half off on your first year. Glad you're with us on the Locked On Red Sox Postcast. Write to your comments that we get. Series loss. Drop the first 2. You've got Richard Fitz coming off the IL, and he'll make the start in the series finale against left-hander Yusei Kikuchi on Wednesday. Put Marcelo Meyer right back in there. First game at second base was in the middle of a double play with Crochet on the mound. Looked fine. Had a play going far to his left, diving on the ground, popped up, lost it, infield base hit later in the game. Not a problem. Keep him in there. You got another left-hander on Wednesday, just keep him in there. At bat of the night, Christian Moore's home run. They were going to win it in the bottom of the 10th inning. Triple and an RBI, game tied at 2. No, 2-run home run. You ended the misery right there. So the at-bat of the night, Wilson giving up the home run. Really, the at-bat of the night, Weissert giving up the home run. But the at-bats of the night, the Red Sox doing nothing to add on to a 1-0 lead with Crochet on the mound over the first 7 innings. We've given you plenty of numbers here. They all add up to ugly. They really do. right now. Game under 500 at the midpoint of the season. Present day doesn't happen. But I'd love to hear it leaked out of the clubhouse tonight that things were thrown. That maybe there wasn't music in the clubhouse. Maybe Brad Pitt playing Billy Bean in Moneyball, the movie. Maybe he was in there saying, is losing fun? I don't know. Old days, game like this, I know I date myself often, but in old days, going back 10, 20, 30 years, a clubhouse would have been ruined by somebody. Absolutely ruined. Who's our leadoff hitter? Let's get to it. Ethan checking in. This team is a big nothing burger, and I no longer have playoff hopes. I'm done. See you tomorrow. Things can change, but they're dour right now. Andrew the GOAT. Red Sox season is over. I'm done watching this team. This is pathetic. Andrew the GOAT, I don't believe you. I love you, pal. I think you'll be watching this team over the weekend when they're home against the Blue Jays. Maybe you're not there Thursday or Wednesday, rather, for the finale, but you're going to be back this weekend when they're back at Fenway against the Blue Jays, who you haven't played well against so far this year, by the way, and the Cincinnati Reds, who walked off against the Yankees on Tuesday night. Andrew the GOAT, there's no point even trying to win games anymore for the Red Sox because all they do is find new ways to lose. Yeah, and that was certainly one of them. Lose with your ace on the mound. Give them one run. Ethan, all I can do is laugh at this point. I can only watch the Red Sox for the young guys, not to win. Yeah, but you're sitting down with the expectation that you're going to watch a winning ball game on any given night over 162. You want glass half full? Maybe we only have 81 more times to do this. Maybe there's not October baseball. We can do the countdown. The magic number, it's there to be eliminated. It's still pretty high, but our magic number right now is 81. Oh, Crochet is on the mound. Let's switch out all of our bats to pool noodles. This from Ethan. The Sox offense probably. Pool noodles. That's what they're bringing up there. I like that. We're going one more, Andrew, to go. Better luck next year for the Red Sox. This season is over. For the Red Sox, they're not making the playoffs. I'll be back the next year. I'm done watching this team. It's just embarrassing at this point. And Andrew, again, I think you'll be back. And if you're back with us on the Locked On Red Sox postcast this weekend, make sure you let us know that you're on board with us. Ethan Breslow thinks that we will win more games without Devers than he must have had insanely low expectations for this team. Aiden, this team is pathetic. Kicking them while they're down. Elsa's dad, back-to-back nights. That's a kick in the NUTZs. Yeah, it kind of is. Logan, what a joke of a game. Why, when we have Garrett pitching, we decide to mess it up like I don't know what we're going to do at the trade deadline. Don't worry about the trade deadline right now. Don't. You know, I'm really starting to hate the art. You know, Jim Bowden works for The Athletic, works for SiriusXM. This guy's a former GM of big league clubs. And he's out there always putting these trade proposals together. That guy is as thin-skinned as they come, by the way. And if you were in a front office, he'd probably be yelping at people to say, stop talking about the guys I have in the clubhouse. Jeff Passan. Oh, Chapman, Bregman, Duran, all available. Does nobody any good. You don't know if they're going to be traded right now. And is Passan good at his job? Yes, he is. Talked with Jeff. I've interviewed Jeff before for shows, for ESPN Radio, MLB on ESPN Radio. He's a good guy. He's sharp. But these articles, I'm tired of them. I'm tired of trade deadline speculation that, nowadays we're doing it with guys that, he's got 2 more years under control. Paul Skeens should be traded, right? Smoke Dog 1982, first time, long time. I'm so tired of watching this team lose. How David Hamilton is still on a major league team is a mystery. Yeah, and I said it in comments. We got some time here, so we can go through some more comments. I apologize not being able to get through all of them for the series opener. But, I want to love David Hamilton's game. It's built on speed. but you don't have baseball instincts. You can't get a bunt down. No, you're not in the big leagues. It's a simple conversation. David, you're going down. You're not producing for us. You committed 2 errors after we sent Christian Campbell down. At second base, you commit 2 errors, and you can't get a bunt down. There's enough of a resume to say, David Hamilton, you got a lot to go work on down in AAA. So Smoke Dog 1982, I'm right there with you, pal. Hope you're doing well. Moore, a 190 hitter, goes deep twice. Awful pitching execution from George White. Yeah, you could say that. Mouthpiece, salute. Aiden, we just have to bring home Jaron when there's no outs after the leadoff double. Yeah, 3 straight outs, and Story starts it off. You can't move them along. Simple baseball. Simple, get them on, get them over, get them in. This team is clueless when it comes to that. And a veteran like Trevor Story can't do that? And this isn't the first time. First pitch swinging in the 9th inning? No, absolutely not. Mouthpiece, SMH. There you go. Logan, why do we have to keep talking about why we can't hit the ball when we get runners on? Because 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position until the 10th inning. Marcelo Meyer, it's here. I really do believe that. I mean, but, Ethan, your game under 500. Bregman's still a week, 10 days, 14 days away. Boy, they better not go into a tailspin to get Ethan's prediction of being 10 under when Bregman gets back. I'll tell you that right now. There's Ethan. Wait, so if you trade your biggest offensive producer, your offense suffers. No way anyone could have seen this coming. You know what, Ethan, though? These are big league hitters. Rafael Devers is gone. Okay? Rick Pitino said it. Parrish, Bird, McHale, they're not coming back. They're not coming through those doors. Devers is gone. Now part of the past. You're in the big leagues. You're expected to produce. Guys in the lineup on Tuesday night did not produce, and we're talking about a walk-off victory for the Angels in 10 innings. You had opportunities. You're big league hitters. You had opportunities, and you didn't get it done. Rafael Devers has 0 to do with a 10-inning loss for the Red Sox on Tuesday. Smoke Dog 1982, they keep trotting Weissert out. Yeah, he's getting tired, knowing that his arm is about to fall completely off his body. The Red Sox, and I've said this before, the Red Sox aren't the only team that plays bad baseball, unable to execute the simple fundamentals of baseball games, right? But the Red Sox aren't the only team that just absolutely wears down the bullpen either. They're not. There are plenty of teams around the majors right now that absolutely have just worn out their bullpens. But yeah, Weissert keeps going out there. Bernardino. Same guys. They need to send David Hamilton down. That from Aiden. Yeah, they do. Again, I've said it recently. How does Vaughn Grissom not absolutely get an opportunity? Just give him an opportunity. He can fail just like these other guys at the big league level, but give him a shot to do it. Maybe he surprises you. Maybe he shows you something. Mouthpiece 617. Logan, don't bring up the Devers trade. Move on. Who knows if we would have won that game even if we had him. Yeah, I'm not going to put an edict out there if I'm not going to read comments from you about Rafael Devers, but he's now in the past. He had nothing to do with the loss. I'm not scolding Ethan for bringing that up. I hope Abreu, Ethan, liked Moore's birthday gift to him in right field. I feel like that one, Rafael crashed into the wall, drifted back on it. Dave O'Brien and Will Middlebrooks were talking about how the ball didn't carry. That ball carried over that short right field wall on that yellow line for the game-winning home run. Do you think we're going to get a relief pitcher at the trade deadline? That from Logan. I thought about this earlier today. Craig Breslow, the bar isn't set that high for Craig Breslow to go out at the trade deadline this year and do better than he did last year. Now, Luis Guerrero's a piece. But what he added last year to the bullpen at the trade deadline, you can do a lot better this year. You really can. And maybe you already did with Jordan Hicks. Maybe. Could be back. Tanner Houck, by the way, another rough rehab start, I believe Wednesday with AAA Worcester. Meyer's going to be a star in Boston. That from Bandy. Bandy. I like it. believe first-timer as well. Welcome aboard. The Pokey King, Seattle series win was a fluke, LOL. I don't want to call it a fluke, but you didn't score a lot of runs in that series, and you came away by winning 2 out of 3. And you're very fortunate to win that series. You really were. You had 5 runs and 9 hits. You took 2 out of 3 in Seattle. So not a fluke, but boy, you were lucky to get out of there with 2 out of 3. Back to Bandy. We stink. The mediocre talent means we have to be perfect, i.e. hitting the cutoff man, more pressure. The bullpen hurts us so much. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be a lot better. If that makes sense. From Monday night's game, they want us to focus in the open of hit the key moment in the game. There were so many key moments in the game, just like this one, where you didn't do enough things to win the game. And they all add up. If you had done 2 of the 6 things, you could have added an extra run in there somewhere. And you wouldn't have been in that situation. Alex, LOL at this professional. Really, that's my fault? Yeah, okay. So, professional, telling a professional athlete to get the bleeping bunt down. You have an issue with that. All right, that's fine. I want to see this from Michael. I want to see Bregman play again. Yeah, so do I. And apparently, Scott Boras has been in attendance. And with that, Scott Boras has let the media know. Will Fleming apparently mentioned it on the WEI Red Sox radio network that Bregman is willing to listen to, an extension. No opt-out at the end of the season. No opt-out. Buyers or sellers, how about sell the team? That from Ethan. Couple more. Very, very mid-team, that from Alexander. Yeah, well, they're not even a 500 team there now. They're back to a game under 500 after getting to 3 over. 4 straight losses. I think they'll watch also. I've learned that it's not always about winning. This might be a developmental year. Bandy. Yeah, but you're not developing in certain situations. You've got to get better. You've got to get better defensively. You've got to get better executing simple baseball. Get the man over and get him in. Devers, or rather Duran. I got Devers on the mind now. Thank you, Ethan. That's on you. You got to get him in. Elsa's dad, wait until Bregman comes back. Yeah, you guys will be all happy. Yeah, but how much more of a hole? I mean, you've dug yourself into a hole. You've climbed out of that hole. Now you're back in the hole again. Chris, MLB is sleeping the Angels. Give this young core a year or 2. I don't disagree with that at all. Smoke Dog 1982, suggestion, bring up Sogard. He plays better defense, more positions, more pop. Not sure about that. But yeah, I would give it. He's another guy you give the opportunity to. Alexander, Roman 0 for 5. Why so high up in the lineup? They're going to try to put him in there. 0 for 5 against lefties. Yeah. His first plate appearance, by the way, and we're going to wrap up here, against Anderson in the first inning, he saw 11 pitches. He was down in the count 0-2 and took a called strike 3 that was ball 4. That wasn't his first plate appearance. But, yeah, ends up taking the collar. What's next? Yusei Kikuchi in the finale for the Angels on Wednesday against Richard Fitz. You need 5 innings out of Richard Fitz. You want more, but realistically, you want 5. 3 runs or less. That's not even a quality outing at the big league level. But you need Richard Fitz to be able to go out there and give you a quality outing. By the way, I don't believe the Red Sox have won. Yeah, the Red Sox still have not won a start by Richard Fitz from 24 into 25. What do we got here? Alexander, Roman 0 for 5. Yep, got that one. Jansen didn't even look good tonight. Yeah, let him off the hook. Yes, absolutely. I believe that 100%. Yep, absolutely let him off the hook. Hasn't cost an Angels win. That from Chris. All right, so what's next? Again, Fitz, Yusei Kikuchi in the series finale. You got to win the finale in order to avoid the series sweep against the Angels, and you're going to either go 2-4 or 1-5 against the Angels on the season. We're going to be on within minutes. Late afternoon game on the East Coast for the Angels and Red Sox from Anaheim on Wednesday. We'll be on board with you within minutes of the final out. As always, we want to acknowledge you being on board with us. We do appreciate it. Hey, we're frustrated. They can play better. They showed you've lost 4 in a row now after you won 8 of 9. That's what they're capable of doing. Just have to show that they're capable of doing it over more than a week and a half stretch of games. Has to be longer. Start it on Wednesday, go home, 6 in a row at home, a lot of home games, a lot of games under teams that are below 500 going forward until the All-Star break. It's right there in front of them. Locked On Red Sox postcast, number one place to hang out immediately after every game. Locked On Sports, your team, your Red Sox, win or lose, every day.